Topkin, and I am a healer, connection, trauma release, and embodiment practitioner. I am also a mama to the baby that is teething and napping behind us today. So I help you connect to yourself, help you connect to pleasure, connect to the world around you, and create a sense of safety within yourself so that you're able to release any traumas, any trapped negative energies in your space. And so I was really excited to be a part of this mental health space, because as someone that has worked so hard and has done so much healing in my own mental space, and is now teaching other people to connect to themselves and to find healing within themselves, it's been really beautiful, and it's been such a privilege for me to share and serve in this space. So firstly, I wanted to just honor you and say congratulations. Congratulations on still being here, on still choosing to do better than you did yesterday, on still choosing to want to do better, and on choosing to learn and showing up for yourself by listening to all of us here in this space. So yeah, I wanted to really just dive into what mental health means to me, how I healed, and the practices that I do on a daily basis when I need to show up, and how I need to get out of a slump, and just all the things that I wish that I knew when I started. So one of the things is just to release any shame and stigma around mental health. You know that shame isn't even ours to carry, and this country is still, there is still a lot of shame and density around what mental health issues really are, yeah, and we all have a lot of learning and educating ourselves to do, yeah, but it's not a cookie cutter one size fits all approach, and you have to really start learning to honor what you need and when you need it. Not all of us are built the same way, and we're not all going to respond to meds or certain therapies in the same way, and sometimes, for the most part, we really need a holistic and gentle approach, and that's the approach that I believe in. We have 5 bodies: our energetic, physical, spiritual, emotional, and our mental bodies. And so for true holistic and transformational change to take place, you need to integrate these changes on all 5 levels. And the thing with mental health is it's the foundation of our lives, essentially. There's no more of this sense of duality anymore. Your body is connected to your mind is connected to your body, and your emotions, and all of these things. Everything affects everything, everything feeds everything. So when you have this awareness, it's really important to not go in all guns blazing and think, I'm gonna get rid of this needs to go, blah 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 blah. It's really about being gentle with yourself and honoring the process, and trusting that you only need to know things when you know them, and things come up when they are supposed to come up. So it's surrendering and really trusting the process. And if you don't feel that you are ready to do that, then this is why I always suggest that you find a healer or a coach or a therapist that you resonate with. Just one thing is that we are all here. We all have stuff that we've gone through. We all have stuff that we're going through on a daily basis. And none of us are living the life that we thought we were going to. We have so much mental, emotional, physical, we have so much pressure on us. And so when you aren't taking care of yourself in one aspect, there will be a feeling of complete overwhelming, like you're going to crack under it. And there's so much energy that goes into image management and making it seem like you have it all, and making it seem like everything is together, and like the Instagram lifestyle and whatever else. And it is exhausting. It is exhausting. So one day you wake up and you feel like the world is on your shoulders and you can't do this anymore, and you're about to crack. At the end of the day, people are only able to meet you at the level that you are willing to meet yourself. So this is just an invitation for you to start embracing yourself, to start learning about what lights you up, what brings you joy, what doesn't bring you joy, what makes you feel alive, and what makes you feel dead on the inside. Because at the end of the day, if you are not willing to answer these questions within yourself and embrace all the aspects of who you are, then how do you start healing and start integrating and start really believing that you are worthy of the life that you want and the things that you want? And so, you know, I always think when you have a toothache, you go to a dentist. If you are sick, you go to a doctor. With mental health, why do we not apply the same thing? This is different though, because it is a pain that we can't see, and it is a tired that no amount of sleep is going to fix. And so I wanted to really dive into mental health, what it means to me, how I healed, and all the things that I wish I knew in the beginning, and these little practices that I do every single day so that I can show up to the world, and what I do when I'm in a slump. So with mental health, it's really the foundation of our lives essentially, and we have had it minimized so much. But if you don't feel mentally healthy, your physical health gets affected, your emotional health is affected. There's no more of that duality in this space. Your mind affects your body affects your mind. So it is really important to use all aspects of yourself so that you can live an energetic life where you feel connected to yourself, where you feel connected to your purpose, where you are living from a space where you feel good and you are honoring yourself. You know, I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't put other people's masks on if you don't have your own mask, and you really have to honor what you need first and build yourself up first before you are able to honor anyone else. With most of my clients in the mental health space, there's a lot of unsafety and a lot of feeling unworthy and undeserving. And so this is why we do this work. This is why we choose to heal. And healing is not this love and light space where you go into it and you feel better immediately. It's really working through all of this and meeting yourself in your shadow, in the chaos, and honoring what you need in that space. Self-love is a term that we are all familiar with on this space. But self-love is not just loving yourself. It is honoring yourself. It is not being judgmental. It is really holding a deep compassion for yourself when you are moving through those shadows, moving through the inner critic. You're moving through the chaos of just general life. And so I found that when you are choosing to heal, the reason why we heal is to reclaim that power that was stripped from us through abuse, through traumas, through any sort of programming and conditioning. And when that power was stripped from us, our dignity is also stripped. And our dignity is really our ability to feel worthy. It's that worthiness that we seek in all other people and things when we haven't healed that within ourselves. And when you haven't healed that, there will always be a sense of emptiness or just like something's missing until you do this work. And your worthiness has nothing to do with how much you do or how productive you are or how many things you have. You are worthy of everything because you are alive and you are breathing. You are worthy of everything because you're you. You are worthy because there's no because. You are worthy just as you are. You are enough as you are. And so when you have that sense of respect and a deep sense of honor for yourself, you treat everyone else and you treat everything that you do as a sacred practice, and your whole life becomes a moving meditation, and it becomes really beautiful. And you know, with being physically healthy, and if you have a physical health goal like getting a six-pack, you have to really pay attention to your diet. You have to look at what you're eating, you have to omit certain things, you have to do more of certain things. And it's the same with our mental health. But the things that you feed yourself consists of what are you watching, who are the people that you are spending time around, what are the things you are feeding your mind, what are you listening to, what music are you listening to, what are the thoughts that you are telling yourself, what are the things that you are saying to yourself, are you being self-deprecating in your humor? because I want to invite you to choose to feed yourself love, feed yourself hope, feed yourself joy, feed yourself the things that you would aspire to be, feed yourself the things that inspire you, feed yourself the things that light you up. Surround yourself with good people that lift you instead of making you feel heavy and drained, because at the end of the day, the things that you believe are the things that you become. And this is why, you know, in the exercise space, you have to cut certain foods out. Cutting certain people out of your life is so important for your mental health, because if somebody's making you feel drained, tired, heavy, if they are very toxic towards you in terms of their behaviors or the things that they say, and there are things that you are trying to change, and it's really just not good for your mental space, you really have to set that boundary for yourself and for that other person, because at the end of the day, nothing can disturb your peace unless you allow it to. And the fact that you are allowing someone to come in and dishonor your needs is something that you need to have the awareness and the strength to change. And I just want to help you let go and free yourself of some of the guilt, because one, discernment is not judgment. Discernment is not rejection. It is you choosing to honor what you need when you need it. It is you choosing yourself. And people who you have to let go will see it as rejection or as judgment, but it's not. And at the end of the day, their reaction is not your responsibility. You have to say no to some people so that you can start saying yes to yourself, because you are worthy of that. You are so important, and you deserve the time and the space to figure out who you are and what you need. As someone that has come through the other side of depression and postnatal and prepartum and all of these other things, I just wanted to share with you some of the things and the tools that I use and the things that my clients use to help them get in touch with themselves. So the first thing is asking for help. There is no shame in asking for help. People think that that is weakness, but the vulnerability, the strength, and the courage that it takes to be able to ask for help is an incredibly courageous thing to do. It is saying that I need support. And sometimes it is so dark in the space that you are in. Just to know that your story is valid, to know that you are not alone, is one of the most healing things that you can be able to do for yourself. Ask for help, get support. The second thing is to connect to your breath. So breathwork is incredibly powerful and potent for trauma release, but you can also just do simple breathing techniques, just like one deep breath before you react in anger, before you say something that you know you shouldn't say. Connecting to your breath is one of the most powerful and potent tools on the space. It's freely available. You don't have to pay a cent for it. And I like to think of our breath as our spirit, because that's what it is. You know, when you stop breathing, you stop living, essentially. So really just connecting to your breath allows you to ground yourself back into your body. It allows you to ground yourself back into the present moment. You're not thinking about the anxieties of the future. You're not thinking about the shame and regrets of the past. You're here now, and you're also not thinking about whatever someone else did to you or this or that. You're here with your breath. You're here in this moment, and you're listening to what is it that's going on, and how can I honor myself as I'm in this moment. And so the third thing is just writing. Writing and journaling is such a powerful tool as well to offload an overactive mind. I always say, you know, in the energetic space, if you have an overactive mind and if you're constantly overthinking, it's really an alarm clock to what your heart space is trying to tell you, that you really need to get back in touch with what your heart is trying to say to you. And you know, nothing that you do from that space of overwhelm and overthinking ends up being as good as if you would just relax, you are in tune with yourself. Because when you're in that rush, you're fumbling, you make mistakes. So sometimes we don't need to continue in that frazzled state. We just need to stop and take a second. And when you've done the breathing and it's not working, breathe and write. and offload and see what comes through for you and see what comes up, because it's really good just to like put your thoughts there and ask yourself the questions and then work through them. And one of the things that I like to say is that I am ready to see what needs to be seen as a mantra before, and normally every single time it comes up, whatever you need to heal or whatever is making you feel uncomfortable in your body. And so the other thing is my embodiment practices as tools have been incredibly powerful for me and for my clients. If you look at the animal kingdom, animals don't necessarily have PTSD or depression or anxiety, and they go through pretty traumatic things on a daily basis. They're chased by predators, they watch their family members being eaten, but they have their methods of release. They shake, they howl, they run around, they do their thing, and then afterwards they're fine. Whereas with us humans, we're like, you know what, right now is not a good time, I'm not going to deal with this now, I'll deal with it later. And then everything compounds and builds in us until we crack. And so we really just need to learn healthier ways of release and honoring our emotions as they come up and listening to what they're trying to say, because emotions are messengers and they are messages, and there's gifts in all of them. You need to heal it, you need to feel it to heal it. There's a reason why they're coming up. So the last things that I wanted to say to you is that I connect to really simple, quick practices that I do every single day when I'm feeling in a slump. And this is what I do. One, affirmations. They are, especially the I am affirmations. So just telling yourself, I am beautiful, I am confident, I'm strong, I am capable, I am worthy of everything by just being. I am enough as I am. And then the other thing is the showering, getting dressed. So just shower, go bath. Water is incredibly cleansing on your auric field. If you're feeling very dense and heavy, go for a shower, go for a bath, get dressed, get out of the house, go and have a change of scenery, go to a coffee shop, just go for a walk, just get out of the space that you're in, and to get a new perspective on things. The other thing is to get some vitamin D, and from the sun preferably. So go outside into the sun for about 5 to 10 minutes and just refuel yourself. The sun is so incredibly healing, and just, yeah, it refills us and energizes us in another way. And the last thing that I do is, so we've done affirmations, we've done showering, we've done getting into a new space, is dancing. Oh, I love this one. So just putting on your headphones for 5 minutes and just like dancing and shaking it out and just connecting. There's like a very childlike innocence and joy that comes with it, and I love it. And it doesn't matter how crappy you feel, once you've danced to like the songs that you love that make you feel good for 5 to 10 minutes, you already feel like you're in you're in a much better space than you were before. So as we close this off, and I just really wanted to reiterate the fact that there's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. We all have everything that we need within us. So I just want you to recognize how powerful you are and that you are capable. Mother Nature has equipped everything on this planet with everything that it needs to thrive and enjoy its life. And it's the same for us. We just have to feel ready and willing to ask and to embrace ourselves, and we need to feel safe enough to believe that we are worthy of all the things that we want. And so I just wanted to send you love and send you light. But before I go, I wanted to say to you, so my partner Nicholas and I, we run a 6-week program called The Sacred Self, where we really do a deep dive into your healing journey and where you are and what you need. And it's so incredibly potent, because you work with both of us and we both have different medicines, and he's more in the mental space and strategy, and then I go in with my embodiment and the more feminine aspect of things. And so I just wanted to send you love, and I hope that you have a good week. I hope that if you feel overwhelmed, that you remember this, which is my little mantra when I feel overwhelmed. And I repeat it to myself. I have my little breath, and then I go and say, I have my little break in the sun, and I have the ocean and the wave are one. Just as no wave can swallow the entire ocean, no one thing, no one emotion can swallow you or the light of your soul or who you are. If you have had any contractions, if you're a mother, or if you know what contractions are, they always tell you the contraction isn't bigger than you because it is you. And it's the same in this space. When something is happening, it's not bigger than you. And just to have that recognition and that shift in perspective is incredibly powerful. So I just wanted to send you some love, send you light, and I wish you well on your journey. Thank you.